Hi everyone, I'm Amy.
And I'm Audrea.
So I almost grabbed it the wrong way. Grab a cup of coffee,
That's a funny one. Or grab a cup of tea. Iced.
maybe a little something on the rocks, and let's get started. Now, this is from that Etsy store that I always want to buy something from.
Oh, that's so
That
cute.
if you don't get on there in the first like 5 minutes her shop is open, you get nothing.
That's fun.
This was my fourth choice because the first three sold out before I could hit confirm purchase. But isn't it adorable?
It is adorable. It's very
It's
adorable.
called like Moody Monday or something like that. That's this, and it's empty. So I will not be drinking coffee today. I just wanted to have a cup to show you guys. I've had enough coffee today. I am drinking water. So this is my water cup
Oh,
with all
fun.
my stickers on it.
Cute.
My friend from South Dakota sent me one. It's all my stickers. This is the one I take to work with me every day.
Oh,
But
that.
yeah, so I needed a cup to show you for the beginning, but we will not be using that cup today.
Okay.
All right, so let me explain what we're doing today.
Please do.
We are doing we I don't really know what the title is going to be of this video until we post it. However, this is going to be a healthy habits, get our bodies back in shape kind of bonus video. As writers, we spend a lot of time with our butts in our seats, and I just don't want us to all become weeble wobbles. Now, weeble wobbles don't fall down, but I still don't want to be a weeble wobble. We have we're basing some of the things that we're talking about off of this book. It's
Hmm.
from Ben Carpenter, Fat Loss Habits. If you don't like potty words, there's a lot of potty words in
There
this
are.
book. I don't like potty words, but the way that he writes in here, you can tell it's just the way he talks.
Hmm.
And I mean, no harm, no foul. So get over the potty words and you'll be fine. So we're going to go over a couple of things that we've learned from this book and from other books that we've read, kind of what we're doing. I personally am at the heaviest weight I've ever been in my entire life. And 10 years ago, I was at my healthiest. Well, I'll say 9 years ago because it was my 40th birthday. I was at my healthiest. I do not want next year for me to still be saying I'm at the highest because I just kept gaining weight.
Oh, yeah.
This year will be the year that I get back, and I'm super excited. And I have started some things, but we do want to go over some of the points that he makes in this book and some of the habits that he talks about, and then just kind of what we're doing or what we think are good ideas.
And I will say the reason we chose this book in particular, Amy and I are accountability buddies for things other than writing. But the reason we chose this book, The Fat Loss Habits, is because we did Tiny Habits, we did Atomic Habits, we have another habits book coming up. So this one was Fat Loss or Healthy Habits. And as writers and people like Amy said, that spend a lot of their time in their chairs, and you could become sedentary, which is not good for humans. We thought we were going to read this one on our own, and we thought we would talk about it from a writer perspective, and
Yeah.
in terms of not just fat loss, because you could be slim and still be not healthy, but we're going to talk about
Yeah.
healthy habits for writers. So let's go.
Yeah. So I do want to say at the beginning of this book, he goes over science. So if you're into science, you can go over this. He also has like 20 gazillion pages of reference in the back. Great. He talks about all of the papers and the research and stuff that he's done. So that is all there for you. And then in the beginning, he also talks about all the different types of diets, the DASH diet, the 5-2 diet, intermittent fasting, paleo, like all of it. He touches on a lot of them and gives you some general breakdown of what they are. And then he also does some questions for you in different sections where he asks you these things about yourself. I don't generally write in books. I will highlight. I don't generally write personal things because if somebody else wants to read this later, it's none of their business. He gives you, sorry. So he gives you some questions to ask that might help you figure out what is working, what isn't working, and maybe what habits you might want to develop based on your answers to that. One of the things that he does say is that achieving better outcome does not always mean you exerted more willpower. It often just means you adopted better systems that actually decreased your need for willpower in the first place. So I like that one. So do you have anything to discuss on this book before we talk about the habits?
Well, I do like that he evaluated, like you said, a number of different eating plans and diets, etc. So he gives you the straight skinny, so to speak, and pardon the pun, on all of them. So if you have questions about any of the ones that you've been hearing in the media, like the DASH, etc., then this is a good book to just get a summary of it and the science behind it. I will say he disagrees with a lot of this the mainstream on some of these. So I, I found his take on all of them. I found it very interesting because he gives you just the facts, Jack, on that particular way of eating and how it could be affecting you as an individual. And again, it's one of those things where you read all of the stuff and then you choose what'll work for you, and whatever works for you is the right one, basically.
Exactly. And it's not going to be the right one for everybody, but whatever is going to make you make better choices and better decisions, that's the one you need to do.
Yep.
Or the habits you need to develop.
And I do like what he said on the back of the book. It says, Ben's point, just to sum up this book, Ben's point is this: the best weight loss diet doesn't exist. And to help you get into a healthier, or to pick something that will last for you, he has a 3-step plan. Understand the science, unveil all of the options that are available, and then choose habits that work for you. So that's what this book is about, basically.
Yep. Now, if we go through, we're not going to go through the habits because that's the whole point of the book. I don't want to give you the habits. However, on page 211, he lists all the habits and he's got a checklist for you. So for some of you, like me, I don't need to try them all. I'm almost 50. I've probably tried them all and know which ones will work and which ones won't, and which ones I'm just not interested in trying, right? But if you were that person, you have a checklist where you could try it, see if you like it. You mark off what day you did it and if it worked for you and your thoughts on it. Like, he gives you a checklist of all the habits. But I like that on this page, before he gives you this page of all the habits, he's told you what they all are. And he goes into detail about what each and every one of them are. And then he gives them all to you in this chart. And what I like is that I don't have to go back and try to find the page. Oh, wait, where's habit 11? Right? Because he's got it all on this chart. He gives you an example, but then he does actually give you a clear one. Now, I don't know. Does he have a way?
There might
I
be
don't know if he
on his
do what?
website. I don't know. You mean if he has one you can download on his website?
Yeah. I don't see where it says you can. However, you probably could go to his website and get a download of this, or you know what? There's a copier. You know, he's giving you the checklist. I'm sure he's not giving it to you for 1 week.
Right.
Like, how do you, I mean, I guess you could. See, for me, if I were trying to figure out if something was going to work for me, I would do it for a week at least.
Yes.
But there's no way I'm going to do 13 of them at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to do one. I might try 2. 3 would be a little iffy because something's going to get lost in the shuffle.
Right. Change is always.
Yeah.
Get
and
changed.
I mean, we know each other. We know ourselves. We know that that's just not going to work. And then the back of the book, after he goes through and he says, where do you go from here? Like, now that you have the habits that you think you're going to follow, what's your plan? And I think that's more like what Audrey and I want to talk about.
Yes.
Okay.
The one thing I will say, so I did like how he outlined all of those habits and then said pick something for yourself. So I did pick a couple for me to try because I like some of them were bite-sized, some of them were longer commitments, and some of them were smaller commitments and sort of in time. Some of them I could incorporate. He talks about habit stacking in here.
We are all about habit
All
stacking.
about stacking. So some of them were easier for me to habit stack. So that's how I chose mine. But it's a very interesting read. And I watched some of his videos on YouTube. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, he's been doing this since he was a teenager.
Yeah.
And if you ever see him on Instagram or the YouTubes, dude is jacked. And his wife is just as fit. So they know what they're doing. Okay, what I did is I took that list and I wrote down the stuff that I know that I'm going to do,
Mhm.
that I've tried and I know works for me. Do you want to go over that now, or do you want to go over a couple of books that we wanted to use as reference for things that we've tried or wanted to read?
I would like to go over, we can go over your list. That's fine. Let's do that.
Okay, so for me, I know that I have to slowly implement whatever changes I'm going to make.
Mhm.
Because if I try to do too much at one time, I know me. If I try to do five things, I'll get four of them and I won't get that fifth one. And then I'm just, oh, forget it.
Yeah.
I'm done. Forget it. I can't do it. Right. So I have to and yes, I know that's being dramatic, but I have to slowly implement things in order for them to take hold in my life. Okay. So that's number one. I have since, so this, I'm going to, this book, see how little tiny it is? It's big as my face. It's a little book. It's called I'll Start Again Monday, and it's by Lisa Turquoise. I never know how to pronounce her name. This is a faith-based book, but it goes over food cravings. And at one point in time, when I was reading this book, I literally closed the book and looked out. I was on the back porch. I closed the book and I looked out the screen and I was like, is she in my head? Because there's a couple of things that she said that I was like, I thought I was the only one that thought that. So this actually helped me get into the right mindset to do this. So because of doing this book first, which I was almost done with it when Audrey and I discussed reading Fat Loss Habits. I had already started eating more salads and getting more fruit into my diet, which before I don't think I was really eating salad or fruit. I'd buy the salad and then the rabbits would get to eat the salad because I would not eat it fast enough. So I have been eating salad a couple of times a week at work. And I have been we have these red navel oranges that are so good. I've been taking a red navel orange and half of one of those giant English cucumbers to work every day.
Ooh.
Whether I have a salad or not, those go in my bag. And it used to be cookies and chips that were going in my bag. And I have not purchased any of that in about 2 weeks.
Wow.
Pat myself on the back. I've been doing great with that part. I won't tell you that I had vanilla ice cream and Reese Pieces for breakfast this morning. So we take some, we lose some. It's okay. And honestly, I couldn't figure out what I wanted to eat. And I saw an empty ice cream container in the garbage. And I was like, oh, Randy ate all of that, whatever that ice cream was, the rest of it. I better eat the vanilla before he eats it too. Like that was literally my frame of mind. I was so hungry and I didn't have to fix it, right? I just had to put it in a bowl. But like I said, I haven't purchased any cookies or chips or anything along that nature in, I want to say the last 2 weeks. It could be 3. So I have been working that in. I also have 2 days in a row now taken my vitamins, which I used to be really good about. And the other thing with me is I can do something fabulous 100 days in a row. If I skip one day, it's like gone. And then like 3 months later, I'll be like, when did I stop doing that? I've got 2 days in on my vitamins. And I'm proud of myself for doing it 2 days in a row because I remembered back to back to do it. Do you want to say anything before I keep going?
No, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Another thing that he mentioned is that your sleep quality affects your first of all, your mental state, but it also affects how your body functions. And so I have been working on it's hard for me to go to bed earlier because of my work schedule. For those of you who don't know, I am a night shift worker. And a lot of times I'm not getting home until after 2 a.m. That means I'm going to sleep around 3 or 4. And then my dogs wake me up to go potty between 7 and 9. And then I have to start my day over again. So I used to be a solid 8 hours a night girl. And now I'm lucky if I get 7. Usually it's 6. And for a lot of people, they're like, oh my gosh, if only I could get 6 hours. Well, that's kind of his point. You should be getting more sleep.
Yeah.
It's good for your body. Your body needs it.
Your
Your
brain.
organs need it. They need the time for you to not be doing anything to like replenish and rebuild themselves, and like your body needs it. So I have been working on that. And then one thing that I'm going to do, because I'm not very good at getting protein in, because I don't eat beef. And I am currently this week researching different ways to get protein into some smoothies, because I don't like the protein, the powders that they have.
Mhm.
I don't like it. I don't like it. If I don't like it, I'm not going to eat it. So I have to figure out how to get it in. And so I'm doing some research on how to get that in and have some yummy smoothies, not smoothies that I watch someone eat and go, how are they eating that? Yeah, I can't do that. The last thing I'm going to mention is I do intermittent fasting, which is funny to me because in the book, he like poo-poos it.
Mhm.
And the way he describes it in the book is, if it's someone who doesn't understand it fully, that's how they would describe it. They would describe it as, it doesn't matter what you eat, it's when you eat. And you can eat whatever you want as long as you're eating it within these windows. And yes, when you first start, that's kind of how you get there mentally. But as you get into it, it becomes, is this food window worthy?
Yeah.
Like, is this something I want to eat during this window? When I was following it the right way, I was doing great. And I follow a podcast called, if I had thought that I was actually going to say what the podcast was, I'd remember it. Fast Feast Repeat. There we go. And one of the women that runs the podcast, she's written multiple books on intermittent fasting. They're really good. If you think intermittent fasting is something you want to look into, 28-day fast start is a really good starting point, because she explains what it is, what all the different ways are, and you can see if it's something you want to try. Because in the beginning, it really isn't about what you eat. It's about when you eat and how long your body has between the first time you eat and the next time you eat. And there's a couple of different ways to do it. I am researching alternate day fasting and an up day, down day,
Mhm.
because the way it re-engineers everything and gets your body into fasting mode and yada, yada, yada. So those are some things that I am doing based on his habits. Some of them I have done, some of them I'm implementing. And my goal is, and now that I'm going to say it and it's going to be recorded for life, is to be able to come on here every month and give you guys a short update, do a reel every month and tell you how I'm doing, what has sucked, what has been great, what hasn't worked, what I'm changing, and if things are going good. And if they're not, what I'm doing to make them better. Because, like I said, I'll be 50 next year. And I don't want to be, I don't have kids. However, I have grandkids that I want to be around for. I don't have grandkids. There are grandkids in the family. I don't have children, but man, let me tell you about the grandkids. Yeah, that would have been interesting. That's a different kind of story. So I want to be around for them and to be able to do things with them and keep up with them. And they don't live here. However, when I go see them, I don't want it to be, well, I don't know what we can do, because I don't think Aunt Amy can really do anything, right? I want it to be, hey, let's go do this thing. Let's go hike. Let's go whitewater rafting. Let's go do stuff,
Yeah.
because it's what they want to do and they're in shape and they're active. I want to be able to keep up with them. Not, I'll sit over here and watch our things. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. Have fun. So anyway, what say you?
Well, actually, I say tune into the next episode to hear what say I. And I'll talk about the habits that I picked up. And then the habits that I'll talk about are things about mentioned in the book, like exercise snacks and also some things to help with the typing and being in a certain position. We talked about some of those on a favorite things episode. So some of those things that I've incorporated or am incorporating so that I can do this writing thing for longer, basically, and also do some of the healthy things I want to do with my friends, like hike, etc., but make sure that I can still type and sit upright and things like that. And one of them is going to the chiropractor, which is what I have to do now.
So
Uh,
tune in next time for Audrea's take on fat loss habits and weight loss, whatever's we're calling this.
Healthy habits for
There
writers.
we go. Healthy habits for writers.
Our take. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.